this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
The only thing between you and your best self is the start button. This Cyber Monday, explore the world with Nordic Track. From the peaks of Peru to the streets of Paris, every workout moves you somewhere new with iFit trainers leading the way. The equipment's amazing, smooth, quiet, and those screens make it all feel real. Ready to start your next workout adventure with the #1 treadmill brand in the U.S.? Shop NordicTrack.com for Cyber Monday savings. Nordic Track. Train anywhere, explore everywhere.
Want to sell your car your way? Who wouldn't? That's why CarMax offers a car selling experience designed just for you, with online and in-store options. Want to know what your car is worth quickly? Get an online offer in under 2 minutes. Want to think it over? Use OfferWatch to keep tabs on your car's value over time. Plus, CarMax offers flexible selling options with express drop-off, in-store, or pick-up at home. Selling your car is in your control with CarMax. Want to drive? CarMax. Pickup not available everywhere. Restrictions and fee may apply. See CarMax.com for details.
The holidays can get expensive, but streaming your favorite festive films and music doesn't need to be. The Vizio Smart TV experience makes it easy with WatchFree Plus and the iHeartRadio app built into every TV, giving you access to free holiday classics, new favorites, and playlists all season long. Add movies to your watch list and jump in anytime. Perfect for family movie nights and cozy evenings in. You can even take WatchFree Plus on the go with the Vizio mobile app. Head to Vizio.com/iHeartRadio to learn more and take advantage of the Vizio Smart TV experience today.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. You know, one of the perks about having 4 kids that you know about is actually getting a direct line to the big man up north. Mm-hmm. And this year, he wants you to know the best gift that you can give someone is the gift of Mint Mobile's unlimited wireless for $15 a month. Now, you don't even need to wrap it. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
How are USDA staff cuts and budget challenges affecting farmers?
My dad and I both have a CSP contract, but the staff can't check the fields to approve them for us to get paid. We're going through a very bad economic time. If we don't have the funds to support our conservation practices, we're going to see a major drop-off in producers. I don't know, guys. This is scary. I got a young family, a young business, and I have no idea what's going to happen.
Protect conservation funding and staff that supports farmers. Paid for by Invest in Our Land.
Trump administration is now actively re-examining all of the Afghans imported into the country by Joe Biden. Any individual who threatens our national security or our citizenry will be subject to removal. President Trump has already permanently paused migration of foreign nationals from third world countries that pose a very high risk to the United States.
You're listening to the 47 Morning Update with Ben Ferguson.
Good Tuesday morning. Nice to have you with us on the 47 Morning Update. We've got a major story for you, and that is the men and women in Minnesota's Department of Health. More than 400 individuals are now becoming whistleblowers, claiming that Governor Tim Walz knew about fraud in its earliest stages as hundreds of millions of dollars were disappearing and going to fund terrorist organization Al-Shabaab. Now, the Trump administration is investigating. But first, I want to tell you about our friends over at Patriot Mobile. Every so often, something happens that reminds us just how fragile our freedoms are. We can't afford to take our rights for granted. We must draw a line in the sand. And our friends at Patriot Mobile have been doing just that for more than 12 years. The truth is, there is only one provider that boldly stands in the gap for Americans who believe freedom is worth fighting for. And that company is Patriot Mobile. Not only are they leading the red economy, they're also outpacing the competition in technology. Patriot Mobile is one of the only carriers offering premium access to all 3 major U.S. networks, giving you nationwide coverage and service that you can count on day after day. They also offer unlimited data plans, mobile hotspots, international roaming, internet backup, and so much more. And switching has never been easier. You can activate in minutes on your phone from your home or your office. And you keep your same number you've got now, keep your same phone, or upgrade to a new one. And this is where the magic happens. Every month, about 5% of your bill is given back to conservative causes at no extra cost to you that stand up for our First and our Second Amendment rights, the rights of unborn children, and our wounded warriors. and those that have fought for our country and wear a badge. So take a stand today. Go to patriotmobile.com/Ben47 or call 972-PATRIOT. And if you use the promo code Ben47, you're going to get a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Ben47 or 972-PATRIOT and make the switch today. It's the 47 Morning Update, and it starts right now.
Story number 1.
Hundreds of Minnesota government workers have now accused the state's leftist radical governor, former VP candidate Tim Walz, of being responsible for the biggest fraud case in the state's history. What is Tim Walz saying about it? Oh, well, he's saying Donald Trump is insane and he wants his MRI released, which the president did. Now, the statement came from over 400 individuals in the Minnesota Department of Health and Human Services employees, and the group claimed that it alerted Governor Tim Walz, the Democrat in charge, to the fraud in the early stages of its discovery, but he allegedly retaliated against the whistleblowers. The statement they put out said this: Tim Walz is 100% responsible for massive fraud in Minnesota. We let Tim Walz know of fraud early on, hoping for a partnership in stopping fraud, but no, we got the opposite response. Governor Walz systematically retaliated against the whistleblowers using monitoring, threats, repression, and did his best to discredit fraud reports. Instead of partnership, we got the full weight of retaliation by Tim Walz, certain DFL members, and an indifferent mainstream media. It's scary, isolating, and left us wondering who can we turn to. In addition to retaliating against whistleblowers, Tim Walz disempowered the Office of Legislative Auditor, allowing agencies to disregard their audit findings and their guidance. Media and politicians supporting Tim Walz or the DFL agenda attack the whistleblowers who are trying to raise red flags on the fraudulent activities. The New York Times even has a headline now that says how fraud swamped Minnesota's social services system on Tim Walz's watch. Prosecutors say members of the Somali diaspora, a group with growing political power, were largely responsible. President Trump has drawn national attention to the scandal amid his crackdown on immigration. Now, again, what I just read you is from the actual New York Times. Not only that, but a damning quote on Tim Walz's failure to stop the fraud consuming Minnesota. Quote, no one was doing anything about the red flags. It was like someone was stealing money from the cookie jar and they kept refilling it. That is, again, a line from the New York Times article. Now, Somalis in Minnesota allegedly took millions and millions and millions of dollars in state Medicaid autism care programs. We talked about this recently on this show. And then they sent it to their native country and its terrorist organizations. Again, something that you knew about weeks ago if you listened to this show. Breitbart News even reported in July that nearly 100 autism clinics in Minnesota were being investigated for fraudulently billing Medicaid for treatment of children supposedly diagnosed with autism. Most of it in connection with the rampantly corrupt Somali community around Minneapolis. But the fraud is far more widespread with far more money involved than was previously reported. All of which has been something that the governor, Tim Walz, knew about. The House Majority Whip, Tom Emmer, a Republican from Minnesota, has since called for an investigation into the millions of taxpayer dollars, state taxpayer money, literally going directly to a terrorist group linked to Al-Qaeda known as Al-Shabaab. Again, something we exposed on this show. And despite the evidence of fraud, state Democrats have continued to support the Somali community. Why? Because they need their votes. Now, in its post on X on Saturday, the Minnesota DHS continued criticizing the governor, stating, quote, fundamentally, Tim Walz is dishonest, lacks ethics and integrity, has poor leadership abilities, and has never taken any accountability for his role in this fraud. where tax dollars went directly to terrorists. Which brings us to the media halfway covering this. NBC News on Meet the Press had Tim Walz on Sunday. And I want you to listen to how softbally they were with him and how they let Tim Walz, in essence, not answer the question and somehow go back to attacking Donald Trump when the fraud that has taken place in his state was helping terrorist organizations. Listen carefully.
Well, speaking of the Somali community, President Trump is targeting them and your state in part. He's citing fraud as the reason for his crackdown. Dozens of people of East African descent have been charged, convicted, and sentenced for stealing more than $1 billion in taxpayer money from government programs during COVID. As you know, Governor, that is more than Minnesota spends each year to run its Department of Corrections. So I want to give you a chance to respond to this. Do you take responsibility for failing to stop this fraud in your state?
Well, certainly I take responsibility for putting people in jail. Governors don't get to just talk theoretically. We have to solve problems. And I will note, it's not just Somalis. Minnesota is a generous state. Minnesota is a prosperous state, a well-run state. We're AAA bond rated, but that attracts criminals. Those people are going to jail. We're doing everything we can. But to demonize an entire community on the actions of a few, it's lazy. And as you heard Senator Kelly say, this president has cut a lot of inspector generals. He's cut programs that could help us tackle this on. So we'll take it on. We'll put folks in jail. I don't care what your nationality is. I don't care what your religion is, your color. If you're committing crimes, these are programs that were meant to serve students with autism, to housing, and to making sure people had enough to eat. There's a reason Minnesota ranks as the top, lowest childhood poverty, best place for children to live. People are taking advantage of that. They're going to prison. That is totally disconnected with demonizing an entire group of people who came here fleeing civil war and created a vibrant community that makes Minnesota and this country better. But that's Donald Trump. Deflect, demonize, come up with no solutions. He's not going to help fix anything on fraud. My God, there's a big difference between fraud and corruption is something he knows about.
Well, Governor,
you notice she didn't interrupt him one time. She let him put out the lies and the propaganda. He talks about people getting arrested when he was the one allowing the money and the whistleblowers were targeted. 400 workers have now come out against the governor. Why did he not act? It's very clear. He needs the Somali votes. The Democratic Party has sold their soul to the Somali voting bloc in Minnesota. And it's a large voting bloc. Make no mistake about it. And so he was willing to look the other way while the fraud was happening because he thought it was worth it politically. What's scary is that guy was very close to becoming the vice president of the United States of America. And what's even more damning about what I just told you is the fact that they knew where the money was going. It was going to terrorists. The money was leaving the country. The number of students that had autism in the Somali community was absolutely insane compared to the rest of the world. The statistics showed that there was a huge fraud. Everyone knew that there was a huge fraud. More than 400 people that also, by the way, knew this was not a political thing. It was clearly a national security issue and an issue of just corruption in a community that the Democrats said, no, we need them. We need their votes. So here we are, Democrats saying, hey, we actually think somehow you're a bad person, Mr. President. You're unhinged. We demand your MRI. That's their response to corruption and fraud in Minnesota. Well, the president released it and says, now it's your turn to answer questions. I'm just fine. The question now is, who will go to jail? And will there be any accountability at all for any of those involved? That includes the governor in this investigation. We'll keep you updated on it. That I can promise you.
Thank you for listening to the 47 Morning Update with Ben Ferguson. Please make sure you hit subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast right now. And for more in-depth news, also subscribe to the Ben Ferguson Podcast, and we will see you back here tomorrow.
The only thing between you and your best self is the start button. This Cyber Monday, explore the world with Nordic Track. From the peaks of Peru to the streets of Paris, every workout moves you somewhere new with iFit trainers leading the way. The equipment's amazing, smooth, quiet, and those screens make it all feel real. Ready to start your next workout adventure with the #1 treadmill brand in the U.S.? Shop NordicTrack.com for Cyber Monday savings. Nordic Track. Train anywhere, explore everywhere.
Oral health goes beyond just aesthetics. It's deeply connected to your general health and well-being. That's why preventing oral health problems before they start is so important. When you use the Colgate Total Active Prevention System, you're not just helping to prevent oral health problems like cavities and gingivitis. You're laying the groundwork for overall wellness. Colgate Total's 3-product routine includes a reformulated toothpaste, an innovative toothbrush, and a refreshing antibacterial mouthwash that all support a healthy mouth. In fact, the 3 products were designed to work together to be 15 times more effective at reducing bacteria buildup in 6 weeks, starting from week 1, compared to a non-antibacterial fluoride toothpaste and flat trim toothbrush. Take control of your oral health and get the Colgate Total Active Prevention System today so you can be dentist ready. Visit shop.colgate.com/total.
The holidays can get expensive, but streaming your favorite festive films and music doesn't need to be. The Vizio Smart TV experience makes it easy with WatchFree Plus and the iHeartRadio app built into every TV, giving you access to free holiday classics, new favorites, and playlists all season long. Add movies to your watch list and jump in anytime. Perfect for family movie nights and cozy evenings in. You can even take WatchFree Plus on the go with the Vizio mobile app. Head to Vizio.com/iHeartRadio to learn more and take advantage of the Vizio Smart TV experience today.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here. Wishing you a very happy half-off holiday because right now Mint Mobile is offering you the gift of 50% off unlimited. To be clear, that's half price, not half the service. And Mint is still premium unlimited wireless for a great price. So that means a half day, yeah? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
How are USDA staff cuts and budget challenges affecting farmers?
I have land in conservation to provide water quality benefits. With the NRCS being short-staffed, the USDA isn't releasing any information because they're not there. I made an agreement. I've done my part, but now I'm sitting on potentially a large sum that is owed to you. My bills are coming due at the end of the year, but I can't even finalize my plans for next year. It's pretty frustrating.
Protect conservation funding and staff that supports farmers. Paid for by Invest in Our Land.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed Human.